Hello, everybody. I'm in a good mood today. I'm singing. I am Brian. You are Chords and Notes Nation. These are my two unnamed trolls, and this is another music reaction. Long awaited Genesis. I'm not going to apologize for my disappearance for a few weeks there. But an explanation probably is okay to give. I had a schedule change as far as work is concerned. And so I had to adjust accordingly and find some sort of balance. And I'm hoping that I'm able to get back into a regular rhythm with these the release of these videos. So, as I was contemplating where I wanted to go again, I figured, it turns out there's a lot more Genesis fans out there than I realized, and it's an area of music that I barely tapped into, and I want to get into the Gabriel era a lot more. So, I decided let's start at the beginning, where the sour turns to sweet, from Genesis to Revelation, their first album, which I read a little bit about. It was sort of and correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like it was a bunch of songs that were sort of like demos that were put together, and then I don't know if they re-recorded them to make the album or how that happened, but I figured let's start at the beginning. So this would be 1969, I believe, and I think this is the first album, or the first song off the first album here. So let's get ready to roll, and we'll see where this takes us.
We're waiting for you. Come and join us now. We need you with us. Come and join us now. Look inside your mind. See the darkness is creeping out. I can see the softness there, where the sunshine is gliding in. Fill your mind with love. Find the world of future glory. You can meet yourself where the sour turns to sweet. Leave your ugly selfish shell to melt in the glowing flames. Can you sense the change? See your eyes, now listen. We're waiting for you. Come and join us now. We want you with us. Come and join us now. Paint your face all white to show the peace inside. Drift away while the saffron bends to the land where the rainbow ends. Can you sense the change? See your eyes in focus. We're waiting for you. Come and join us now. We need you with us. Come and join us now. We're waiting for you. Come and join us now. We need you with us. Come and join us now. We want you with us. Come and join us now. We need you with us.
Well, that was short. I'm going to go off of the information that I have that this is mostly demo songs strung together into an album form. That being the case, it would explain the mixing. It was really, there was not much low end in there, and so it just seemed out of balance that way. But musically, it was intriguing because what I was doing while I was listening to it was trying to recall music that I'm familiar with from 1969 or thereabouts. I hadn't been born yet, so that was not my era. However, I do have in my collection music from around that era. Bands like Crosby, Stills and Nash, some of the really early Led Zeppelin, stuff like that. That try and kind of place where is this fitting in my knowledge of music at that era. And I'm not there yet. I need to listen to more of it to get a deeper appreciation for early Genesis. Lyrically, there were elements that were reflective of that era, with the saffron and the what else? I forget some of the other words, but it just, the whole, well, I would say hippie era, and that's not meant as a bad thing, but that's the best way I can define it. There was a certain tonality in the lyrics, and I don't mean the way it was sung, but I mean the way it was written. So this choice of words added a certain color, a certain tone to the message that was reflective of that time, and so with that in place, I was listening to it musically, and back to it. Like I said, I'm not quite sure where it is, but it has some intriguing elements to it. That this is what I like. Finding a starting point, usually the beginning, mostly the beginning, and then following that journey to see how things develop, how things progress or regress, depending on the direction that the band has taken. Now, again, I'm talking about Gabriel era Genesis, not when Phil Collins took over and it became the 80s pop stuff. That I'm familiar with. And there's some really good songs from that era as well. But I want to really know what this early Genesis stuff was all about. So I will continue my review of, this album, I guess, would be a really good thing to do, song by song, and see where it goes. So not a whole lot more to say about this song in particular. However, once I get deeper into the album and then do the full album review, it should flesh out a lot of the things I might be missing right now. So, anyways, stay well, be well, stay well, continue to stay well, do well for others, do well for yourself, and every day's a new day. Take care.